I have the very honor of welcoming some Spaniard blood on stage. Claudio, AntsLab.
Do I get this one? Yeah. Hi. Well, I'm Claudio, and I'm really tired because I've been all night playing Rock Band preparing for the presentation. Do you know the song that goes, "Forever young, I want to be forever young"? And because I had that dream that I always wanted to be forever young, I co-founded with Max in AntsLab, where we help diabetics to enjoy a much easier life using their mobile phone. And for all of those who don't know about diabetes, it is a very serious chronic disease. I hope I know how to switch the slide. Yes, I know. It is a very expensive chronic disease, and in Finland there are more than 300,000 diabetics, and in the worldwide there are more than 300 million actually. And it's increasing in the last 5 years exponentially. If you look at the graph, it probably doesn't mean anything, but if I show you this slide, if you make simple numbers, in Finland only, 5.5 million people, there are more than 15,000 new diabetics every year. And this is a huge problem. So we wanted to help these people. We sat with customers, with diabetics, with doctors, with pharmacists, and when we started to talk to them, we found even a bigger problem that very few of us unfortunately know, and is the daily life of diabetic. They have to spend a lot of time, a lot of effort managing their disease. And I explain you how. So you go to the doctor, you're diagnosed diabetes, and bam, the first thing you know is that you have to change your entire life. You have to change the way you eat. You have to move your ass off that sofa and do sports, be active, because otherwise you'll lose your legs, you'll lose your arms, you'll die if you don't manage that diabetes. You have to inject insulin or take pills, depending on the type of diabetes you have, and you have to write down all those measurements. But don't worry, you ask the doctor, okay, how can I get help? No problem, we have a great technology for you. It is called pen and paper. You get pen and paper, you get a notebook from the doctor, yeah, a notebook. And you have to, not only you have to change your entire life, but you're also asked to do extra homework, to write everything on paper and bring it to the doctor very often. So you think, okay, there is always an app for everything, so I'll just go to the market, the app store, I get an app. There are more than 100 apps to help diabetics. But they are just a replacement for the paper. They still have to do all the effort. They have to open the application, write the measurements, and continue doing stuff. So we have come up with a great mobile application that is completely different. It looks the same, isn't that beautiful, by the way? But how it differs from the other ones, it looks the same, but actually what it does, it collects all the measurements automatically. So the phone is in your pocket, you don't have to do anything about it, all the measurements go right in your phone. And the application can actually send periodic PDF reports. It generates PDF reports with your data and sends it to your doctor. So you don't have to visit your doctor. We are reducing the amount of time, the amount of effort they have to put in diabetes management, so they can use their time to enjoy their life and forget about diabetes management. So it's everything done automatically. And there is a third thing, a more important and the cool feature I'm really in love with, and that is that our application is capable of analyzing all the data that we get wirelessly, besides the PDF reports, and it understands the patient. It gets better. It learns with the time, with the measurements, how the patient reacts to different foods, different levels of activity. So it can actually assist. It can actually tell, hey, you have to eat this, or you have to do this type of exercise so you can reduce the amount of insulin. Because we're looking for the perfect balance between food and sports, so the person gets a much easier life, a much healthier life, a much better life. Thank you. Come on. Okay. Just one thing. Because I have still time, I want to say something because I didn't see them very happy. It's a very cool product because we are helping people. There is a real value and we're helping people. But there is a big thing for us. We're very early stage. I think we are one of the earliest stage here in the startups. But if we get to the final stage, I promise my co-founder we will announce something that we've been cooking for the whole summer, and it's probably launching in December, but I'll tell you more later. So now, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come on, cheer me up. Okay, now for the tough question. Oh, you guys there already. How am I gonna make money?
Was that the question?
Oh, come on, go. Shoot.
Surprisingly, that's not what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you how you get the information to your application. You didn't really explain that.
You mean the data measurement?
Where do you get the data? How do you get it?
Through Bluetooth.
Yeah, but from where? Any device or?
Yes, from the glucose meters and insulin pumps. Yeah. So the devices that diabetics normally use to measure their glucose level, the information is gotten from the device to the mobile phone, wirelessly. Did you get your answer?
Are they all Bluetooth enabled?
No, there is 37% of the devices that are Bluetooth enabled, and that is actually part of our business model. Do you want to know more? Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. So how do we do this? The business in this field in healthcare is really difficult. So you cannot sell an application. You have to create your own device, and the business is in the stripes. The stripes, for those who don't know, is the thing you put in the glucose meter to get the blood there. So how do we do this? We create the best application on the market. It is already the best, and it's a prototype. And once everybody's using this application, what is more convenient than actually using our own glucose meter? So we are planning to create our own glucose meter, get into the application, okay? Because right now, it works with all the devices we can on Bluetooth. We're making it so easy for diabetics, but in the future, we're going to create our own glucose meter, and there is the business model, creating the devices and distributing the stripes.
All right.
Did I answer? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. AntsLab. Next up, Spontax. They're getting there. They're getting there.
Good morning again. I think I didn't practice singing all night, but I wasn't also doing a presentation all night, so it's very brief. There's not much text. We just want to explain a bit more what our product is about and how we earn money in the long term. Spontact stands for spontaneous activities and spontaneous contacts. And what problem do we want to solve? It's fragmentation of society. When you were in the earlier days, in the 20s, after work you went to one place and all the guys were sitting there. You had no problem to know what to do. Today, you have 1,000 table tennis aficionados in a city, but they don't coordinate. They would like to play, but they never meet. Or you have new in towns who want to go bowling, who just want to have a chat. You have singles, you have students who are in a lecture room with 1,000 other students. So how do they actually meet? It's all about access. We want to give the people access to other people's plans. How do we do that? Spontact is a simple idea. If you want to play tennis, you say, I'm up for tennis tonight, and it goes to all the tennis players around you. The ones who want to have it by push notification, they will get a push notifications. But many of our users come into the app regularly every day to see what's happening around them. It's all local. For every category, for every interest, we have another range. Tennis is very local, but skiing is very unlocal, if that word exists. So the app is actually there. It's in the store. You can get it from the Finnish app store, and Android will come in a month. In Switzerland, it's buzzing with activities of people. People who want to go drive to Portugal together, or have a knitting session, or write a book together. You can't even imagine how creative people are. It is a success story so far. We've been in the main Swiss news channel, we've been in the main media, and we made it to the second spot in the Swiss App Store for a few days. So we can say it's the first Finnish-built application, I think, that made it up so far after, you know, the other ones. And we are in front of Facts for free, which is great. But how do we get to the people globally? Who are our multipliers? Of course, we cannot do this alone. We want to spread out to other cities in Europe, and at the moment we're currently growing in the Netherlands because we have a local guy who really likes the idea and promotes it locally, sends our press report this morning. We're in a major blog and we're growing at the rate of 1 Dutch per minute at the moment. We're looking for multipliers in other cities. We're building in an incentive model for students that can then take the idea further and motivate their own friends. But I guess you want to know how we earn money as well. We have a great asset, our users, but an even greater one. we know the interests. We know much more than Facebook does or Twitter does or anybody does, because we know what they are interested in. And this way we can target any offer on the platform. We can inspire the users with offers like a Segway tour or a hike, a guided hike, or a deal from Groupon, from my city deal or whatever deal provider is out there. And the fabulous thing is we take peer-to-peer marketing to the next level, because the users themselves say, I like this deal and I want other people to join in. I benefit from a cheaper price, but I also benefit from getting to know other people and have a fun time. And of course, we will earn a commission from this. We are now in talks with the largest Swiss telecom to build a pilot which actually goes from the long tail, say a bowling alley, to the mobile booking on our platform. Like that we could have a much higher margin than if we go through deal providers, but deal providers also give us really good content and inspiration for the users. That's what we want to do, and we ask you, are you in this big but adventurous venture? We are looking for venture capital, for bridge capital in the short term, but also for a Series A round next year. Thanks for your interest.
Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for a great presentation. You give like great impression in terms of your slideware is great, your story is great, you're gonna rule the world, but it's a lot of buzz in your story. So in a way, give us something concrete. How many users, how active they are, like what are really the sticky numbers in your model? Because you can have like a lot of downloads, but then just goldfish memory users using your app. So give us something more concrete.
Yeah, we had 25,000 downloads in Switzerland so far, of which resulted 15,000 registrations where we know all the interests of the users. We had 500 registrations from yesterday in Holland, and we had close to 500,000 sessions since July. People coming into the app and looking what's next, what's coming. And we established some 50,000 interpersonal contacts between people in Switzerland, most of them in real life.
Okay, like, how did you see that the stickiness, and also how do you get new users? You said you use marketing, you have a blog guys and so on. So how do you see one user, the virality means that if you get one user, is he telling his friends? Do you have any facts on that? Like if you have one guy joining, will he tell his friends?
Yeah, we of course connected to Facebook. We can measure how many users post an activity on Facebook as well. We have a viral growth which we still want to increase because we will include a contact system in the next version where you can easily add your friends to a contact list and then also add activities in a closed space. It's not about sharing your intimate photos or sharing your telephone number. That's the beauty of it. You can just establish a contact and use it in a way then also as a stronger social network. But we need a certain critical mass of users in a city to go the viral thing going. In Zurich, we grew up to 100 users a day, which proves there is viral growth, but we still have to improve it a lot. We will add the Android version and everything, so it's ubiquitous. We also release a Facebook app in 2 weeks to make it accessible for anybody and not just the ones with an iPhone.
Thank you.